Think long-term. How the wealthy play decades ahead, while others chase days. We live in a world obsessed with speed. Get rich in 24 hours, go viral in 7 days, win in one move. But there's a rare breed of people who don't follow that game. They think in decades, they plan in cycles, they don't chase waves, they build tides. This is next-level thinking, and today, you'll discover why thinking long-term isn't just a mindset. It's a superpower the wealthy use to dominate silently. 1. The trap of short-term thinking. We live in an age of instant gratification. Everything is designed to reward us quickly, stimulate us constantly, and keep us chasing the next thing. Faster, shorter, easier. TikTok trains your brain to crave hits of dopamine every 3 seconds. Instagram stories vanish in 24 hours. Stock apps flash green and red, triggering panic or euphoria every 5 minutes. Even friendships now rise and fall based on replies within hours. But here's the truth no one tells you. The more you live in the short term, the less you truly build anything meaningful. Short-term thinking gives you illusion of progress, but never legacy. It feels productive, it looks busy, but it's often directionless. You might chase a side hustle, but drop it after 2 weeks. Start a habit, but quit when results aren't instant. Scroll for hours, feeling informed, but end up more confused and reactive than before. It's like building castles in the sand, as the tide rises. Now contrast that with how the wealthy operate. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after the age of 50. Not because he got lucky late, but because he understood this. Compounding works best in decades, not days. He didn't obsess over making the most money this week. He played for 10, 20, even 50 years down the line. Jeff Bezos, in Amazon's early days, wrote to investors that he would prioritize long-term vision even if short-term performance suffered. And suffer it did. Amazon lost money for years, and people laughed. But Bezos wasn't optimizing for headlines. He was building a system that would outlast trends. Elon Musk didn't launch SpaceX expecting profits in 2 quarters. He was planning for Mars, with a 25-year roadmap. Long-term thinkers don't need to be first. They aim to be final. But why is it so hard for most people to think long-term? Because short-termism is addictive. It feels good to check the box each day. It feels right to chase the trending topic, the viral post, the quick return. But the cost is enormous. You start businesses that never grow. You build skills you quickly abandon. You start relationships that never go deep. And one day, you wake up and realize you've been living reactively for years, and don't even remember why. Short-term thinkers ask, what can I get this week? Long-term thinkers ask, what's worth building for the next 10 years, even if no one claps today? If you're tired of chasing and want to start creating, if you want to stop performing and start building something real, then thinking long-term isn't optional, it's essential. Because in the short game, you're a pawn. But in the long game, you become the architect. 2. The wealthy play the decade game. When most people plan, they plan for this week. Some ambitious ones might think about next quarter. But the wealthy? They think in decades. Warren Buffett once said, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." That's the mindset of long-term thinkers. They don't chase the sun. They plant trees and wait for the forest. Look at Jeff Bezos. When Amazon launched, everyone thought it was just an online bookstore. Investors pressured him to show profits. Analysts called him reckless. But Bezos didn't flinch. Why? Because his time horizon was different. He wasn't building a business. He was building an infrastructure. Logistics, cloud computing, payments, user behavior. That would power the internet economy for decades. He once wrote to shareholders, "We believe that a fundamental measure of our success will be the shareholder value we create over the long term." That single sentence reveals everything. Elon Musk, same playbook. Most CEOs focus on quarterly earnings. He focuses on colonizing Mars. He built Tesla knowing the market wouldn't believe in electric cars for years. He launched SpaceX knowing rockets would explode. And they did. But he didn't quit, because he wasn't optimizing for 3 months. He was optimizing for 30 years. This is the truth. Short-term thinkers want results. Long-term thinkers want systems. A result ends when you get it. A system keeps generating results over and over, without extra effort. That's why long-term thinkers invest in skills, not hacks. They build reputation, not just visibility. They create IP, not just content. They hire for alignment, not convenience. While others are chasing what's hot, they're quietly mastering what will last. Most people are addicted to noise. The wealthy? They listen for signals. Most people want freedom now. The wealthy delay gratification to build real freedom later. Most people want to impress people today. The wealthy want to be unignorable in 10 years. You don't need to be rich to think this way. But if you want to build wealth or impact, you must start playing the decade game. The rules are different, the pace is slower, but the rewards are extraordinary. Because when you start thinking in decades, you begin making decisions that others won't understand today. But everyone will respect tomorrow. 3. Long-term thinking isn't sexy, but it's unmatched. Long-term thinking won't make you go viral. It doesn't win applause. It doesn't trigger dopamine. It's slow, quiet, often lonely. But here's what it does do. It builds things that actually matter. Most people want results they can screenshot. Long-term thinkers build results that speak for themselves over time. Think about Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. Before the world knew his name, he spent nearly 10 years selling sneakers from the trunk of his car, while working a full-time job and enduring rejection after rejection. No press, no spotlight, no likes, just belief. Belief in the vision, belief in the process, belief that one day the work would pay off. And it did. Nike didn't explode overnight. It was a decade of slow growth, hidden behind closed doors. Then one day, the world caught up. But most people don't have the patience for that. They want to build a brand in 30 days. They quit writing after one viral post. They change directions the moment something feels hard. What they don't realize is this. Long-term thinkers look foolish in the short term, but legendary in the long run. The first 50 videos might get no views, but the 51st? It changes everything. The first startup might fail. The second might too. But by the third, you've built wisdom that no course can teach. Long-term thinking isn't sexy, but it's unmatched. It's the mindset of those who quietly build cathedrals while others chase scaffolding. You wake up early. You write every day. You read, study, test, reflect. You invest when no one's looking. You stay focused when everyone's chasing the next shiny thing. It's not loud, it's not fun, it's not flashy, but it's real. While others want fast money, you build assets. While others want clout, you build character. While others follow trends, you follow timeless principles. And while they're exhausted from running in circles, you're walking a straight path, one step at a time, toward a future only you can see. In the end, the short game is a race. The long game is a revolution. 4. Long-term thinking builds unshakable identity. At some point in life, strategy fades, tactics blur, goals shift. But one thing remains: your identity. And here's the hidden power of long-term thinking. It doesn't just build outcomes. It builds who you become in the process. That's why it's priceless. When you commit to the long game, you stop chasing the external scoreboard and start shaping the internal one. You stop asking, "How many views did I get?" and start asking, "Who did I become today?" You stop chasing validation and start crafting a legacy. Think of people like J.K. Rowling. Before she became the richest author in the world, she was writing Harry Potter in cafes, unemployed, divorced, and raising a child alone. No one believed in her dream, except her. And every time she wrote another page, she wasn't just creating a story. She was becoming a person who finished what she started. That identity, the woman who doesn't quit, that's what powered everything else. When you think long-term, you build that kind of inner strength. It doesn't matter if it takes 5 or 15 years. What matters is what's happening inside you while you wait. Every small action adds a brick to your internal foundation. Every tough day makes your mindset more resilient. Every rejection sharpens your clarity. Every detour teaches you patience. You may not see results today, but you are becoming someone tomorrow can't ignore. The short game is always about proving. The long game is about becoming. Proving seeks approval. Becoming creates authenticity. The short game is fragile. One failure, and it shatters. But long-term identity? It's unshakable. So next time you're stuck, doubting yourself, ask this. Is this moment breaking me, or building the version of me that can't be broken? Because long-term thinking doesn't guarantee that life gets easier. It guarantees that you get stronger. And that strength? No algorithm, trend, or comment can take it away. 5. The world bows to those who think in decades. In the end, the world doesn't reward the fastest. It rewards the most consistent. The ones who kept showing up, who stayed in the game when it was boring, who bet on vision, not validation, who worked quietly while the rest were shouting. The world eventually bows to those who think in decades. That's what makes long-term thinking the ultimate advantage. Because most people won't do it. They'll chase the quick win. They'll pivot at every resistance. They'll give up because they didn't go viral in a week. But you'll keep building. While they seek attention, you build assets. While they burn out chasing speed, you compound, patiently. You won't just win. You'll last. Imagine who you'll be in 10 years, if you stay consistent, curious, and courageous. Imagine the life you'll create, not because you rushed, but because you endured. Imagine looking back one day and saying, I didn't follow the noise. I followed a North Star. Because this is the truth. The people we admire, the ones whose names echo through time, they didn't think in hours or days. They thought in decades. And they built things that mattered. Not just to them, but to generations. That power is inside you too. So choose the long game. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Choose discipline over dopamine. Choose depth over hype. Choose silence over noise, until your results speak so loudly, no one can ignore you again. That's the legacy of long-term thinking. And it starts today, with your next decision. Subscribe for more timeless thinking.